Okay, let me share you my screen to answer this. I hope my screen is shared. So I have a bigger
Yes, sir.
display on my left. So now I'll be looking here, not here. Okay. I
Okay.
hope this works. So, like this is my portfolio on Dribble. Dribble is one of the biggest portfolio site for designers, and whenever we trend on Dribble, so it's like a dream for every other designer. Okay, so what you have asked, like, can you just repeat your question for once?
Yes, sir. Sir, my question was, does the digital designer focuses on the logo of the company, or it's the product prototype?
Okay, so we have a designation called graphic designer. So graphic designer is the person that take care of the brand identity plus the logos, the illustrations, and etc. etc. And it really does not have to deal with anything which relates to the product. Okay, so how does it differ? Like let's talk about this stuff. So probably this thing looks like an app, right? Some sort of a delivery app. So this is some sort of a illustration जो particularly एक graphic designer का काम है इसको बनाना, right? And this is another illustration. If I talk about illustrations कि एक बंदा जो specialized है और सिर्फ illustrations बनाता है, मतलब ये चीज, that guy is called illustrator. But even end of the day, he's a graphic designer. और graphic design क्या है? The one who work with graphic. And what exactly graphic is? Anything which is made up of text, color, an image is a graphic, right? So I hope that thing makes sense. So any person who is working with the logo, brand identity basically means, for example, this was the brand identity thing that okay, to be honest, like for example, I'm a person who is working as a designer from last 7 years. So I have just developed my skill of making illustrations, because whenever I start a project, I really cannot rely upon a person who will come and draw illustrations for me. So I just upskilled myself so that I can do that thing by myself. Okay, so this was the brand identity that I did for Webcool. Like enter is the font that we are going to use. These are the colors that we are going to use. Okay, this is the picker stuff that we will use for the repetitive branding stuff. Okay, and this is going to be the strategy, and there are a lot of things. But particularly if I talk about graphic designing, it has to do a lot with the brand identity, which includes logos, patterns, and there are thousands of the things. Like you can just go to Behance and there are certain galleries that you can check. So वहाँ पे ना you will get a very clear picture like what exactly graphic design is. So see, this is one of the galleries at Behance. Let it open and you'll see. So this is the stuff which is included in graphic design. You really cannot say this thing is a digital product design. Now coming on the digital product design, if you'll see this work of mine, so you'll observe it is more about a complete application or a prototype, what you have said. So ऐसे नहीं होता कि कोई इंजीनियर है और उसको हम बोलेंगे कि यार एक ऐप बनाते हैं जो चैट ऐप होगा. So what he needs a foundation. He needs a very rock solid foundation. Okay, how exactly the application will look alike. So digital product designers are the people who design this stuff. So I'm the person who actually design everything which currently you are seeing on your screen. So for example, if I talk about this stuff, so I lately took upon Indigo and I was like, okay, let's redesign the Indigo's flow because its app actually looked very ugly and it is not very usable. So this was the thing that I did by myself. Okay, how this interface should be made upon. So I am the person who actually designed thing and this designed this entire thing. And obviously you will call this thing as a prototype because it will act as a foundation for our next level decisions, whether they are took by the engineering team or maybe the users end of the day. Okay. And particularly we have two specializations here when we talk about digital product design. Number one is systemizers and second one are empathizers. So empathizers are the people who really understand the pain of the users. Like, okay, there is some person named John and he uses a mobile application and he's trying to travel from Delhi to Noida, and every other day he need to wait for Ola for around 30 minutes. So can we solve that problem by any means, right? So that person is called an empathizers, जो कि एक UX designer कहलाएगा end of the day. और अब यार उसमें भी बड़े सारे बाइफिकेशंस हैं, वहां पे यूएक्स एनालिस्ट हो सकते हैं, यूएक्स रिसर्चर्स हो सकते हैं. So there are n number of things, or maybe he can be a UX designer. Then there is another thing called as systemizers. जैसे यार एंड्रॉइड है तो उसका एक पूरा स्पेसिफिकेशन है कि दिस इज द एग्जैक्ट वे हाउ वी शुड डिजाइन अवर एप्लीकेशन. लाइक कि अगर मैं एक बात करूं, अगर ये बटन है तो इसकी एक डिफाइंड हाइट है कि वो उतनी ही होनी चाहिए. तो दीज आर द स्पेसिफिकेशंस व्हिच कम्स फ्रॉम मटेरियल डिजाइन गाइडलाइंस जो कि एंड्रॉइड के लिए हैं, एंड ह्यूमन इंटरफेस गाइडलाइंस जो कि एप्पल की तरफ से आती है फॉर iOS डिवाइसेस. ओके, I hope I answered your question, like what
Yes, sir.
exactly a product designer does.
Thank you, sir.
Awesome. So you can just see like this is the work, like what I do. So my inclination is toward mobile more as compared to the web. I used to do web previously, but now like I was looking forward to specialize more on mobile because mobile is on boom. Like 80% of the users, internet users, own a smartphone. Like that's a big number. So probably everyone has a mobile phone, and I already worked in web for around like 5 or 6 years at Webcool. So I really wanted to make a switch to the mobile era. That is why I just start doing things in the mobile, and finally I landed upon Paytm. Paytm do have the web interfaces, but most of the transaction take place from the mobile itself. कभी ऐसी नहीं होगा ना कि सिस्टम लेके जाएंगे ऐसे to make a payment की दुकान पे. तो that's the reason mobile is at the boom. And in fact, if you'll observe your behavior, most of the time you do things on the mobile. Maybe particularly you will use your desktop for the more complex tasks like booking a train ticket, right? Then probably you will use the desktop. But for the simple things like watching Amazon Prime, maybe if you are very specific, like I want to watch at a larger screen size, then only you will go with the larger desktop. Else you will just manage with your small phone, right? And there are a lot of theses. Like whenever I talk about the product design, specifically a digital product design, so people think it's a very easy thing to do, but so is not the case. It takes a lot of preparations, and it takes a lot of knowledge, like how you should actually cater that thing. It is not just about drawing icons or catering buttons. It is about thinking, okay, how a user will perceive to this interface, whether a user will be able to achieve his her goal or not.